here in St. Philip. Looking at the Atlantic Ocean again, to the east of the island. The Atlantic Ocean touches the eastern side of Barbados, which would be St. Philip, St. John, St. Joseph, and St. Andrew. So this is the Atlantic side here. And the Caribbean Sea touches the western side, which would be a bit of St. Michael, St. James, and a bit of St. Peter. Lighthouse here again. Again, please leave a comment. Let me know what you guys think about the video. Another plane is flying over Barbados. Most likely heading back in. Or leaving. This is leaving. But this is away from the airport. Our airport is this way. Back this way in Christchurch. So this plane is most likely leaving. So this is the Atlantic side over here. I'm not sure where the plane is heading to. So this is the east coast of Barbados. You can hear the sea rolling. Get a clear view of Marley Vale, St. Philip, which is just around the corner. You can see all up in the hills of St. Philip. Well, St. Philip doesn't have much hills, but a little bit that we have here, we can still see from here, like Mount Pleasant and that side. And we can see the St. Mark's Anglican Church at College Savannah, St. John. On top of this hill here, overlooking the east coast. It looks like it's about to rain in some parts of the island. As I said before, we can see St. Philip, St. John, St. Joseph, and St. Andrew over here to the east, and St. Lucy over here to the north with Pico Tenerife. We can see all across the Codrington College in St. John, where we studied to become a priest in the Anglican Church. Those in the West Indies, where they studied to become a priest in the Anglican Church. We can see Bath Beach in St. John to the east, and you can see Culpeper Island, a little dot off of Barbados, also to the east. Also in St. Philip, you can see the island here, this little rock here is Culpeper Island. As I said before, Barbados is 166 square miles, bordering the Atlantic and the Caribbean Sea. It's also in the West Indies. Barbados does not have much resources, like how other countries have hills, have oil, have mountains, have something, sugar. One time Barbados used to depend on sugar to survive, but we don't depend on sugar anymore. We depend on tourism. That is why the police come down harshly on persons who attack tourists when they come to Barbados. Barbados is relatively flat, of flat terrain all over. We have some hills to the east over here in St. Andrew and so on, and St. Joseph. that part of the island is called the Scotland District because of its resemblance to the Scotland countryside, St. Andrew and St. Joseph. It's referred to as the Scotland District. Lighthouse. Known as Ragged Point Lighthouse or East Point Lighthouse. Some refer to it as East Point and some refer to it as Ragged Point. All the same thing. So this is at the very top of St. Philip. This is a good picnic spot to view the ocean. People actually fish there. Sometimes the currents can be rough as we are bordering the Atlantic Ocean, especially this eastern side. Other than that, it's pretty okay. The lighthouse here again. And this is the south side. Looking back towards St. Lawrence Castle. St. Lawrence Castle is not too far from here, which is now a hotel. St. Lawrence Castle is a hotel. St. Lawrence Castle was built in 1820 by Samuel Hall Lord, who was an Englishman who built the castle in St. Philip. And that was his home. He used to live there and he used to set up lanterns in the coconut trees so that when the ships come in, they can think that they are at safe harbor. And then when they come in, he used to rob them. He was later taken back to England and hung. The Merry Men wrote a song about him. So Sam Lord has some descendants in Barbados named after him. They are Lords. The Lords in St. Philip are his descendants, L-O-R-D, and then some Lords, L-O-R-D-E. So St. Philip is home to the Lords, L-O-R-D and L-O-R-D-E, the Masons, the Wiltshires, which is very plastic bag in them, and McFingal, the Fingals, and the Crossies. All the East Coast view. All the East Coast view we can see. And the lighthouse over here. can see. So that's guys. Now the lighthouse. See how beautiful up here is. Yes. So now to leave this place now. As I would have said before, St. Philip is home to Red Plastic Bag, Matt Fingal, Blood and John King, and Juke Chat 80 shirt. Well-known Calypsonians from Barbados, and they originated from St. Philip, as well as yeah, that's basically it. I can't think of no more from St. Philip. Let's look at the lighthouse one more time before I leave this place. And St. Philip, this is a rural parish, so I'm in the countryside at the moment. This is Barbados' countryside. So I'm going back to the roadside now to take the bus. So this is the countryside. Country life is the best anywhere, anytime. All the Ragged Point, St. Philip. So again, the pathway back to the lighthouse. My third visit to the lighthouse. Houses. They don't think that I want to spot their house or nothing like that. But I'm just showing you the beauty of St. Philip as I traverse through the area. So this is St. Philip. Back to Ragged Point, the main road. This is a little car road too, that can lead you back to the beach as well. So you can see the minibus, the yellow bus now going to Bayfield. And the coconut trees here. You can see the top of St. Catherine's Church, St. Catherine's Anglican Church. You can see the top of St. Catherine's Church, it's just around the corner. Over here. So around the corner now will be Marleyville, and then past Marleyville will be Culpeper Development, which will lead you into St. Catherine's Church, and then straight ahead will take you back to Bayfield and Skeets Bay, and it can lead you back to St. John as well. We're back to the Lighthouse. Marleyville, St. Philip is around the corner here. We're back at the corner. I'm going to this bus stop here to catch the bus back to town. So this is the bus stop I have to go at to wait for the bus. So this is where I will stop now for the day. Thanks for watching, guys, and have a blessed evening.